Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another SHOUTCraft Clan Wars right here on LG TV. My name is, as always, TotalBiscuit, and I'm joined by nobody else. Sorry. Just me and the solo cast today. I can occasionally get a co-caster when they're not busy, but they're busy today, so I'm doing it myself. We're going to have a cracker, or a corker, as I love to say, over on the prison island. Clan who I have now singularly alienated, versus the one and the only Root Gaming. Look at that lineup. Look at that lack of logo. Clan Who, for those who don't know, it's a new team consisting of existing Australian and New Zealand players. And I think there's some random guy from Singapore in there as well, but who knows. So we actually have a few traitors in our midst. Igers and Betrus will be playing for the Australian side instead of for Root. Going to be a lot of that. Both Igers and Betrus are playing twice because they will be playing the 2v2 as well. Should be rather interesting. And yes, we do have Starbo. And I have been reliably informed that both of these guys know what they're doing. Sasquatch, of course, absolutely knows what he's doing with Starbo. That is confirmed. Igers I've not seen play Starbo. But if he's anything like, well, Igers is normally, he'll be ready. He put on a good show last time for the Aussies. Let's see if he can repeat it. Aside from that, some pretty good-looking matchups coming in, actually. We're going to see ourselves to a little bit of PvP, with Pez making his debut for the Aussies versus Calibur on Wrecking Ball. PvP on Wrecking Ball we have not seen yet, so I'm intrigued to see how that goes. Neo Jungle Valley. The Aussies taking a risk, putting a Zerg on there against Marsa. Generally not a Zerg-friendly map unless you have a specific build. Probably 1-2 base build for that. Then New Pompeii, which is actually going to be a PvZ. That, I think, would be our first PvZ. Again, would you put a Protoss on that map versus Zerg? Normally you wouldn't. So Root may have made a misstep there. New Pompeii is not that Protoss friendly, but again, these maps are not figured out yet, so who knows where that could go. And then, on Neopolaris Rhapsody, we've got Cats versus InXS. And he is, of course, from Team XL5. CBZ on that map, again, not something we've seen. And then we've got our 2v2, Sacred Path, as we get there. Calibur will be playing random, Cats will be playing Zerg versus Igers and Betrus playing Terran and Zerg, respectively. So, we're about ready to kick it off. It should be good. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Our first match is going to be on Starbo Python. It's going to be between Sasquatch and Igers. And, I mean, I'm pretty much ready to get started once I untangle all of these cables and reduce the risk of pulling all my audio equipment off the desk. There we go. Yeah, that seems like a good idea. Look at that. Look at that. Well organized. Fantastic. Yeah, I was totally ready for this. All right. Checking if these guys are ready to rock and roll. And if they are, we shall begin. Igers with the cricket jokes. You see, now I'm rooting for Sasquatch after that one. Shall we begin? Sounds like a good idea. Let's rock and roll. They're both ready to go. Golden is ready to go. He'll be casting for the Korean audience today. And I'm ready to rock and roll. Countdown has now begun. And of course, the map will be Starbo's Python. If you haven't seen Starbo before, I will explain it as we go. Do not worry. You're not going to be horribly confused. I know a decent amount about Starbo. I can explain to you how it's going to work out. I'm hoping it'll be good. And this will be a TVZ. So no Dragoons this time around. I have no idea how this is going to turn out. Hopefully well, though. Hopefully well. Alright. Shall we begin? Bit of Starbo. Please don't suck. Please be good. Alright. Here we go, folks. Oh, good spawning positions as well. Alright, this should be a good one. Welcome to Starbo Python. And of course, the Starbo mod, which I will explain to you. Featuring Root Sasquatch. He is in the pink trunks and he is playing Zerg to the west. Versus his opponent. Also from Root, but playing for the Australians on Clan Who today. The traitor himself, in the red trunks. Playing Terran. Some call him a mighty dwarf indeed. Root Igers. Or as I like to call him, Thorin Oakenshield. Igers going for the straight wall off. So, what is Starbo? For those who don't know, Starbo is a modification, which is the unofficial sequel to Brood War. So it is a hybrid between StarCraft 2 and Brood War. A lot of Brood War stuff in here, some StarCraft stuff. They've made a lot of balance changes, a lot of modifications, which means you're going to see units you're probably not familiar with, as well as upgrades you are not familiar with. So do not fret. I will explain what's going on. There's some quite interesting changes to the way that the economy works as well. Generally speaking, you don't really want too many SCVs on one set of mineral patches, because this game has something called mineral bounce. It's supposed to simulate how difficult it actually was to fully saturate a base with the right number of workers in Brood War. So if you have a second worker go to an existing mineral patch that's already being mined, it'll kind of bounce off it and try and find another one, which means that you get progressively more inefficient the further you go down. Now, this happens a lot sooner than it does in StarCraft, meaning that you are encouraged to expand. So you have a lot more bases and less workers, generally speaking. You also mine more per worker. Very important to note. All the bases only have one gas, but you mine a lot more gas from that single gas geyser than you would otherwise. Alright, so Sasquatch going to go with the hatchery first, followed by his spawning pool here at 13 supply. You can ignore most of the timings and the supplies that you know, because Starbow doesn't really work with them. Gas coming up here as well. So far so good. One of the players hasn't lost in the first 4 minutes, which would put us past every other Starbow game that we've seen up to this point in the Clan Wars, where one person clearly knows Starbow and the other person does not. Igers, I'm pretty sure, has practiced it, and Sasquatch was actually one of the first American players to play Starbow competitively. So he does know what he's doing. He's well aware. Igers just having a look-see. He scouts, of course, the hatchery first. He knows what's going on. And so far, so good. This looks like a fairly normal game of StarCraft 2. And it'll cease to become that as soon as you see the kind of things that can be built. Queen's on the way. Yeah, this really does look like a very normal StarCraft 2 build, doesn't it? But you're going to see the Queens do a couple of interesting things. They're a little bit different. Another barracks coming down here from Igers. And he's going to follow that up. And, oh, what's that strange icon? It's a metabolic boost. Zerglings are not quite as fast in Starbow, so you're not going to see them going at ludicrous speed, but metabolic boost is required anyway. They changed all the icons of any upgrade, which is not exactly the same as it is in StarCraft 2, so that should give you a clue. So these swarm queens right here, usually they could inject lava. They kind of still can. They have a different ability. The inject lava increases the spawn time of lava, but it doesn't give you a big stack of them. You can only ever have 3 lava at one time. So it's a bit more micro-intensive than StarCraft 2 is. You also have Nurturing Swarm, which will actually increase the structure morph rate, as well as put a heal on the target. So that's quite cool. It's like a transfuse, but it speeds up buildings, so that's pretty neat. And you've also got Enrage, which allows the queen to attack, and it's pretty powerful, but the queen cannot attack when not enraged, so bear that in mind. You also notice there's no mules in this game either. They dropped some SCVs in instead. You have to pay for those, but you can slightly accelerate your worker building rate. Okay, so a couple of Lings going to make their way in, and they'll easily be gunned down. The Ling speed upgrade is done, and that's the speed that they move in this game with the upgrade. Not quite as fast, not quite as quick as they otherwise would. And then we have the Tech Lab come down for Igers as well. Baneling Nest on the way up for Sasquatch. Interesting. Banelings do exist in this mod, even though they weren't in Brood War. Interesting modification, but Igers' defense is potentially vulnerable to a Baneling bust. We do have a lair on the way up here for Sasquatch, though. Once again, going for the inject lava. I wonder if Sasquatch will actually elect to use Nurturing Swarm, in fact, to get this out quicker. Doesn't look like he wants to do that. At present, he is simply injecting lava just to get his lava out a little bit quicker. And Sasquatch looking for the scout here as well. Just trying to gain map control. So far, so good for both players. Engineering Bay on the way up. Igers just going to start working on Stim. Gets the scan. He's looking for an Overlord. There's no Overlord there, so nothing to catch. Needs to be a little bit careful about going out on the map, of course. Zerglings are quite nasty. They do pretty significant damage. And, of course, Stim's going to take a longer time to come up. I should also point out, no combat shields. However, there are medics and fire bats, which are now being added in. So Banelings are being added on for Sasquatch, who is trying to take his third base at the moment. In fact, it's completely up and ready to go, but it's not saturated as of yet. And Igers is just playing defensively on 2 bases, which for a while is fine, but he will need to eventually expand. He'll mine... You can already see the mineral bounce in effect here, so that just means that the mining is going to be a lot less efficient, because a lot of these SCVs are just going to float around doing nothing. He hasn't gone too far with the SCVs, but he is still building them, which means he really needs to consider expanding. And there's no expansion coming in, so he's probably going to end up with a few too many SCVs. Alright, Ling's trying to make their way around here. And the initial force is coming up. There are a couple of fire bats here. This will definitely help, but the Baneling count is getting silly. Barrel stabilizers being added on. That's actually plus range for Marauders as well as Marines, but I'm a bit worried for igers here. He's kind of out in the middle of nowhere, but the Banelings do detonate on the Firebites, which is exactly what you want. Can igers continue to split against this? Well, it is a lot of Banelings, but I don't really like what Sasquatch did there. He dedicated a lot of Banes to really not a huge amount of reward. You can see by the units lost tab that that really wasn't a good trade there for Sasquatch, but Sasquatch is actually on a decent economy, and you might be saying, what are you talking about, TB? He has 29 drones. Yeah, I know, he does. And look, he's not fully saturating because the mineral bounce makes it a lot less efficient. It's better for him to be on 3 bases. And if you look at the income, you'll actually see, even though he has fewer workers, he's matching up to igers. So that's how the functionality works. Sasquatch understands that, but it's really odd that he decided to be so inefficient with his Banes. It did keep his army alive, but Barrel Stabilizer is about to kick in, so that's going to give the Marines even more range to kite the Banelings. Baneling speed is not done yet either. igers going in for yet another engagement. Sasquatch looking to try and sandwich and crashes his Banelings into the back of the medics there. But it's not quite enough to stop this, and he needs to deal with this Firebat. We might have to see an enraged Queen here trying to fight. As it stands, Sasquatch is actually losing it here. A Mana SCV dropped down out of nowhere, and igers continuing to push forward. This is really surprising. I expected Sasquatch to put up a better fight here. The Enraged Queen is working on that Firebat, gets it down, so eventually Link should be able to clean this up. But damage was done, certainly. And once again, not so efficient on the Baneling trades. And now finally the cleanup's going to happen. So we're going to have ourselves a fight. And Baneling speed coming in as well. So it's not terrible for our Zerg player. He didn't actually lose that many workers. So as long as he just builds around the drones, I think he should be absolutely fine. And his economy should continue to be alright. He needs to get back to mining, which he's now doing, so you'll see his mineral count is going to start to pile up again. And it seems like igers is just dedicated to this 2-base play, and he's added some tanks in as well, and these are going to be very dangerous. And I'm kind of surprised that Sasquatch is just still trying to fight on Ling Bane alone. Oh, he's going to get in before the tanks deploy, but the Banelings don't get the finish here. I'm not necessarily liking this from Sasquatch. Again, very, very inefficient. He is going to try and kill that tank, and it looks like he is going to get it, so that's not a bad little pick-off from him, but he is going to need more units. A couple more Banes, more Zerglings coming in. Income looks something like this, so Sasquatch is starting to get back in here, but look at the tech. I mean, that's what really speaks for igers here. The amount of tech, and he's dropping down this overcharge ability, which allows him to build a lot faster. He's getting science vessels, he's getting irradiate. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. I mean, Sasquatch really doesn't have much that shoots up. One tank's going to go down, second tank's going to go down. igers with the target fire. He is going to lose that tank, though, and Sasquatch again pushing him back. But where's the tech from Sasquatch? I mean, he's just playing Ling Bane here. And once science vessels come out, and more tanks, perhaps, I don't really see that working. Sasquatch is just kind of trying to stay alive at the moment. A very long, protracted fight. igers not feeling it right now. Don't really blame him. His marine count is pretty low. At least in this army. He needs to bring the rest out, and there he is. Bringing a Marauder in as well. So yes, they are in Starbow. Even though they weren't in Brood War. Sasquatch just playing pure Ling Bane. Coming around with the flank here. He's going to catch the Marauder out. And in come the Banelings, trying to crash in. He wants to take the tank out, but he is not quite able to do it. There come the Lings in from the back. And this is going to be a cleanup for Sasquatch by the looks of it. Although reinforcements do come in. Science vessels just kind of floating around thinking, well, what the hell do I do here? These Zerglings continue to hammer forward, but igers is able to hold on, and he's going to add Firebats, he's going to add Banshees in here. +1 is on the way here for Sasquatch, but honestly, igers has already out-upgraded him here. So it's a bit surprising to see Sasquatch kind of stuck on this tech here. He's finally thinking about drones, but oh, lovely Irradiate. Which, as it turns out, is actually cancelled by morphing into a Baneling. That sounds like a bit of a bug. I think they could probably fix that. But there you go. There's an interesting test. And Enraged Queen is coming in. Link's coming around the flank here. Again, there's only one tank. And the Banelings connect. And looks like Sasquatch is going to overrun most of this army. But reinforcements have come in to try and clean this up. A Banshee coming in as well. This Enraged Queen is having a whale of a time. But with a Banshee in the mix, there's no way. +1 isn't done yet. Research times in this mod are very, very long, so you certainly don't want to start them late. And I have a feeling that igers is going to put the hands around the throat here. Sasquatch has been sitting on a really low supply this entire time. igers going completely unharassed, and Well, Sasquatch might be the classic expert in this map, but it looks like igers absolutely knows what he's doing. Pushing forward with the fire bats there, tank support. There's the big stim coming out. Banelings do connect, but igers is able to step out of the way. A single science vessel there is able to provide detection, pushing the creep back as well. Lings come around the flank, but the natural is now under grave threat indeed, and I don't think Ling Baneling is going to be enough. It really isn't. Down goes the Queen. Banshee picking off the remainder of the drones here at the natural, and there's the GG. Clan Who with the first one on the board here, and a bit of a surprise, I think, for those who enjoy Starbow, that we actually saw Sasquatch drop the map to igers. He knows what he's doing. Surprising lack of tech coming out there from Sasquatch. No attempt to go to Lurker. No attempt to go to Mutalisk. Well, shocking. There you go. igers with the first win. A nice pickup there. Very, very cool. Alright. One on the board. There's the Starbow map. Probably the best Starbow game we've had so far, although still a little bit disappointing from Sasquatch's end. I definitely expected more of him, considering his experience on that map. But now we continue. The next map is going to be Wrecking Ball. It's going to be a PvP. Calibur and Pez are going to be going at it. Of course, the standard Starcraft 2. You are watching Clan Wars, and we'll be right back. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to SHOUTCraft Clan Wars. So, we have had a substitution, which is generally not allowed unless both teams agree to it. Root was extremely manner about the whole situation, considering Pez has been a no-show for whatever reason. And we're going to be going on to Wrecking Ball, which will be another PvP. So what we did was we swapped out Pez for Blisk, and Blisk will be representing the Aussies. He's actually from Singapore, but well, no one's really going to notice. And Calibur, of course, will be playing for Root. So it's still going to be a PvP on Wrecking Ball, just as you would have otherwise expected it to be. But again, my apologies for the delays and the nonsense and all that manner of stuff. Hopefully the rest of the Clan War will go smoothly, as I curse myself with that. But I haven't seen PvP on Wrecking Ball. I have no idea how it's going to play out. I don't know if the map will even make a difference. It could make Warp Prism Harass pretty damn difficult. I've got to say that for certain. But outside of that, I don't think the missile turrets or indeed the add-ons in the center will make much of a difference. What could make a difference is the third base. I can't imagine that any of these guys just really want to go and take a third base, especially not the one towards the center of the map. Maybe you could go and actually take the fifth or the third towards the back, but it's quite far away. Could be difficult. I guess we'll find out. Map is on the way. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome to Wrecking Ball, and it's my pleasure to bring you in the green trunks, playing Protoss to the south of the map, representing Clan Who, currently teamless, the Singaporean Protoss Blisk, versus his opponent to the north position, in the style and pink trunks, playing Protoss as well, he is Root Calibur. So as I said, we have had a substitution. Those expecting to see Pez were unfortunately disappointed because he was a no-show. It is speculated that he fell asleep waiting for the match, because of course it's quite late over there in Australia. It can happen. So Root were kind enough to allow for a substitution, which is not required. And it is in the rules that substitutions are not generally allowed, but if the other team agrees to it, then that's absolutely fine. Calibur going for a quick scout. In fact, he's actually making his way out of his base quite early here, whereas Blisk is not scouting as of yet. It is an early scout, and he could just be looking for proxies and just wanting to get a little bit of information on his opponent. Forge, now, no, there's a Forge coming up. That's not happening. Cannons are on the way. You know, I wanted to give Calibur the benefit of the doubt, but nope, he has cannons coming. So, absolutely not. Blisk is scouting for proxies. He just checks the back of his base just to make sure nothing happened there. And now he's going to make his way up. And so far, so good. The probes will meet. And he may think the timing's a bit off. I have to wonder. But we are going to see a cannon rush here from Calibur. But Blisk is already kind of out and keeping an eye on that probe. And I wonder if Blisk is expecting a cannon here. So far, Calibur actually hasn't... He's resumed probe production. Oh, tries to put a pylon down and fails. Interesting, and Blisk actually puts a pylon down of his own here. Well, if Calibur wants a cannon, I'm not... Oh, whoa, hang on a minute. Blisk has walled himself out. That's unfortunate. Blisk is going to have to cancel that pylon and try and make his way in there, but as you can see, he's been able to create a wall-off with 3 pylons just to try and protect this area. Brings a second probe in here. He's going to try and cannon the other side, and wow, there's a cannon in the middle of that. And a pylon on the others. What? Whoa! Blisk got walled in! All of his probes are walled inside! What? Calibur, what the hell are you doing? That's insane! He pulls it off! He walls Blisk's probes in! The cannon is on the way up! Will it actually finish, though? That pylon's about to die. The cannon finishes, but it's so close to dying already. Calibur is trying to trap all the probes inside of Blisk's mineral line. One cannon is up. Blisk is trying to mineral walk desperately. He's like, how can I get out? How do I get out of this? I can't do it. He's trapped. Calibur, with the most audacious cheese that I've ever seen. I can't believe it. Blisk can't believe it. All of his probes are stuck. They're not mining. GG! What? Are you serious? I can't believe that. Absolute madness from Root Calibur. With the cheesiest thing I've ever seen. Blisk. I cannot imagine. I wish I had one of those ESL cameras that showed you the reactions. Because, I mean, that's a 4GG losing his army in Medivacs level of disaster. It's like, I move my probes in and then you trap them inside? Holy hell. Calibur, you evil genius. What a play. What a play from Calibur. Incredible. Disgusting, but incredible. Holy crap. That was kind of awesome, I gotta say. Alright, well, that was short and to the point, but hilarious. The next map's gonna be Neo Jungle Valley. Marsa will be taking on Betrus. Now, this is a map that, of course, is very traditionally Terran favored against Zerg. So I hope Betrus plans something. Wow. We're gonna be right back after this break, folks. The madness continues here on SHOUTCraft. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back to this match. We just had the shortest and most hilarious PvP in history, and now we're gonna have some Neo Jungle Valley action between Marsa playing Terran and Betrus playing Zerg. I hope Betrus is prepared for this map, because this is not a Zerg-friendly map at all, and if you play any standard build here, you will lose to Terran pretty much 100% of the time. So you've got to have something up your sleeve. And you know what? We're actually okay with Zerg losing like 100% of the time on this map. What we're not okay with is the fact that the game appears to have frozen. Well, that's not good. Huh. We might have a crash here. I suppose I shouldn't really be surprised. Oh, man. Yep. Game seems to have completely crashed. We're gonna have to remake. Apologies, folks. We are having apparently nothing but problems today. I've never seen it do that. Very strange. Oh, hang on. Do we have it back? Oh, we do have it back. Okay, actually, we're fine. Yeah, everyone's fine. Okay, good. Yeah, we just, for some reason, had the game black screen and freeze, but... Alright, okay. Let's continue this disaster, shall we? Jeez. Alright. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Neo Jungle Valley. It's my pleasure to bring you Root Betrus. He is in the Yellow Trunks playing Zerg to the southeast versus his opponent. Of course, we're almost 2 minutes into the game now, so that's not a particularly early barracks right there. To the northwest position. Also, of course, for Team Root. In the Red Trunks playing Terran, it is Marsa, who is going for a Reaper by the looks of it. Very good map for Reapers. You'd pretty much almost always want to go Reaper here. And of course, Betrus will be representing the Australian clan who are currently 1-1 in this Best of 7 series. They did lose their Starbow match, but they pulled it back with the cheesiest play I've ever seen out of a Protoss. Like, I had to actually take an extended break there so I could go and vomit, actually. So I just needed to clear the bad humors out of my system there. Alright, there's the Reaper coming out for Marsa. Okay, so Neo Jungle Valley is a really hard map for Zerg, and I'm always surprised when I see a Zerg come out on it, because this is a semi-island map, meaning that the entire map is blocked off by rocks, at least initially. What does this mean? Well, it means that what you generally do as a Zerg player is you get Zerglings out on the map, and you use those Zerglings to take map control. But you can't do that on this map because these rocks stop you from reaching the enemy base. The only way you can scout as a Zerg player is to use Overlords, which is handy in one way because they are the only race to get a flying unit at the start, which is an advantage on an island map. But they also can't attack by ground. They pretty much can't take any map control whatsoever. And what we've seen a couple of times in this map is Zerg attempt to go up to 3 bases very quickly because they're thinking to themselves, oh, I'm safe, I'm safe. The problem is they're not safe. Yeah? The 3rd base in particular is a nightmare because it is entirely possible to smash through these rocks and siege up this cliff area. So taking this 3rd base against tanks, basically, that's just not going to happen. It's a non-factor. So every Zerg that we've seen on this map, I believe as a result, has lost. Jaedong has played it twice and lost both times in kind of a crushing fashion. Like, he didn't even get close to winning it. So, what we need to see from betrus is something a little bit more creative. What we could see from betrus is an effort to take a 3rd base away from a cliff area. But it's a little bit difficult to do that. He could take this, and the Reaper's just kind of hanging around just to see whether or not that actually happens. He could take that 3rd base, or he could attempt a 2-base play. And he's got 2 gas going up on the natural here. Let's see if he goes for 2 more gas in his main. I think he might want to kill that Reaper first, but that's going to be difficult to do. What it does allow the Zerg to do is not build any Lings, and not build Ling speed, which is very weird. Usually, you can't go really with a speedless build for very long. Not against Terran. You need the Lings, you need the control. If you don't, you just die to Hellions. But that can't really happen on this map, because there is no way for the Hellions to get to the base without drop tech. So, once the Reaper's been dealt with, you can kind of do whatever you want. But, as we're seeing here, we're going to get a tank from Marsa, and this is an incredible tank map. Really, really good. And Marsa is going to immediately start to push through. And I think he wants to do the same thing. He wants to siege this 3rd base up to prevent the Zerg from taking it. So, I hope betrus has an answer to this. If he's going to go and take that 3rd base, then he's going to be in some serious trouble here. He may be able to take the base up to the top, and Marsa may not realize it. But once he's battered through these rocks, things could end up getting very, very ugly indeed. So far, no attempt to take the base. We're going up to Lair here, but he hasn't taken the gas. He is going to go Roaches. There's some more gas. Alright, okay. I like the idea of Roach play, but simultaneously, you're going up against the Terran who's building tanks, so it can get a little bit ugly. I think you need the Roaches fairly early to knock the rocks down so you get a little bit more control. Marsa's still checking for a 3rd base, like, why don't you have a 3rd? And then he finds the drone going in, and that drone is not going to live. It is dead. A nice pick off there by Marsa, nice and easy. It's probably for the best, really, because if he attempted to take this 3rd base, just get it sieged up and killed. I don't know if betrus has an answer. I like the fact that he's going Roaches right now, and the tank count isn't completely out of control yet for Marsa. Marsa is trying to take a 3rd base, which I don't really blame him for, but once these paths are open, they're also open for the Zerg. But Marsa is going to look for position on this high ground here and say, look, alright, you're going to try that? Well, we'll see about that. We're not going to let you. We're going to siege up. We're going to prevent it. Can the Roaches get there? Well, not right now, they can't. They don't have an access route. They're going to have to break through these rocks right here. And betrus is spreading creep. It looks like, yeah, he's going to take... I like this move. So betrus is actually taking... And that's going to get scouted, of course, which is unfortunate because the Reaper has been looking out of that. But this was the siege position. Oh, wow. Marsa's even going to bunker up the high ground here. And now Marsa's going to have to move around and... It's almost like betrus is actually getting the Terran player to knock the rocks down for him, which I kind of like. You could siege the low ground, and maybe use the Reaper as vision, but we're seeing a Nidus Worm out of betrus, and he's actually got his Overlord out of sight. I love this idea. Nidus was something that I thought we might see out of Jaedong on this map, but we are seeing Nidus Roach Queen, which is ideal here. So he fakes the 3rd base, draws Marsa out of position, puts another base down and says, hey, Marsa, work through these rocks. Make sure you move your army away from the base. I don't know, he might see that Overseer. He sees the Overseer. That could be a bit of a tell. Changeling going down. Let's see if Marsa decides to pull his forces back. If he doesn't, he could be in some serious trouble. The Nidus is going to go down right here, and it's not going to get seen if this is properly positioned. betrus, I think, has the answer. He knows what he's doing on this map. He's drawn Marsa out of position with this 3rd base, which is basically a fake, and is now going to Nidus. He Niduses right into this base here. The SCVs do find it. I don't think they find it quick enough. It's going to be up. It's going up. And out come the units, and then immediately goes down. He needs to nidus somewhere else. Okay, he's now nidusing in this position, which is actually in scouting range, unfortunately. So one nidus is down. A couple of roaches picked off, but it looked like that was actually a fake. The second nidus is now coming down. Third base has been sieged up. betrus is not attempting to mine from it. Now the SCVs come out, but this was a lot better. Roaches now popping out of the nidus, and they're going to try and do what they can. There's a decent number of them. Queen's coming out as well, so they're going to be able to put the creep down. Maybe we'll see a creep tumor coming out. Only a single queen did get out, though. Will the roaches be enough here? Another nidus is now going down. It's going into the main base. That's going to go up. A couple more units are going to come out of this as well before the tank actually kills it. betrus decides not to go for it. The roaches pick the tank off. More damage being done here, but betrus has not got the killing blow as of yet. So the nidus play is still kind of working. And he's actually going to nidus over there, but Marsa is kind of all over it. Well, I would safely say at this point, it probably hasn't worked. The queens pop out and are actually going to die, but, oh, maybe not. Well, the tank's on the way, so they're absolutely going to die now. Another nidus coming up. This is very costly on the gas, I gotta say. Queen's now moving into position. A single marine is working on this nidus. I still think nidus maybe needs a little bit of an HP upgrade here. betrus is going to lose all of his army, and then, again, the nidus is going to go down. Oh, transfuse! Multiple transfusers, and now betrus actually breaks out with a huge army. 20 roaches, 7 queens coming in right here. And betrus is looking for it. He wants to make this strategy work. He's wasted 4 nidus trying to make it work, and now finally he gets his army out. Queen's out with the uber transfuse just before the nidus dies. Another nidus going right into the base. And Marsa is on the ropes. betrus hammers home. He has the units to make this work. There's the GG, and betrus finds the answer. The first Zerg to win on Neo Jungle Valley, with the multiple nidus playing the fake third base. Nope. Clan Who won. Yes, even though he's from Root. There you go. The Aussies find a way once again. Impressive. You know, I thought nidus would be pretty powerful on this map, but that was some next level mind game, saying to Marsa, hey, I'm gonna leave your Reaper alive, not building any lings whatsoever to chase it down. Your Reaper's gonna live, it's gonna see my third base. I was like, oh, you're swinging your tanks around here? Okay, I'm gonna draw you away. I'm gonna waste your time. I'm gonna make you siege up on that third, and then I'm gonna hit you while half your army's out on the map and can't get back quickly. There was no quick route back to the base. Lovely play. Absolutely fantastic by betrus. Really, really cool understanding of the maps. Wow. Very cool. Alright. Well, this has turned into a really interesting clan war up to this point. The next map is going to be Asraa versus Pig on New Pompeii. Again, we're seeing a Protoss put against a Zerg on New Pompeii. Well, I'm hoping for more surprises. We'll be right back. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. This is the scoreline right now. It's pretty cool, isn't it? It's already been a rather entertaining clan war, to say the least, between these two, and hopefully it's only going to get better, because our next game will be Asraa vs. Pig here on New Pompeii. Not a map I would have expected Root to send a Protoss player on. The kind of theory that we have on this map right now is that it's a very Zerg-friendly map, and Protoss would probably have the hardest time against Zerg, but it's not entirely impossible that Asraa will have found a solution to that. As we saw earlier, basic logic, you know, common wisdom simply says you do not send a Zerg player onto Neo Jungle against the Terran. And yet, actually, betrus pulls it out there in fine style with an excellent build, which is something I've really been hoping to see on that semi-island map for the longest time, and we finally did get an opportunity to see that, which was kind of great. And now, we get New Pompeii. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. To the northeast position in the pink trunks, playing Protoss, representing Team Root, he is Asraa, mate. No, not Australian. He is the one that is not Australian. This man over here is the man who is Australian. And remember, he who drinks Australian thinks Australian. In the blue trunks, playing Zerg to the west, representing Team Exile 5 and the clan of Who, it is Pig. Okay, very Zerg-friendly map. Why? Because it's a circle. There are 2 entrances to each base, meaning it is hard to protect your bases against Ling run-bys. Entrance here, and entrance here. Also, something very important, because Zerglings are that damn quick, and the middle of the map is walled off by rocks, so it's not going to be unlocked until later on in the game. Zerglings are very powerful here. They can go either way around the map very quickly. Other units cannot. So it is a circle, it's like a clock. So you go around, and as you'll see, Pig is going to scout very quickly. And he's actually going to find his enemy very quickly as well. There are 3 other potential spawn positions that your opponent could be in. This is a 5 spawn map, which is unusual. Usually you get a 4 spawn map, or a 2, but this is a 5. They can't spawn directly next to each other, so they couldn't say spawn here and here, but they can spawn everywhere else. So I like the idea of Pig to go for a scout, because it can take a little while, even with overlords, to actually find the enemy base because of the different positions they could potentially be in. So Pig wants to know where his opponent is, and he also wants to keep an eye on Asraa, because I imagine he's probably thinking the same thing we are. Why is there a Protoss on this map, and what build have you got for it? I can definitely see Protoss playing against Terran on this map, and indeed we did, to pretty good effect in previous Clan Wars, but against a Zerg, that could be a tricky one. The last Protoss that we saw on this map against a Zerg was actually Billowy fighting against TLO, and frankly, Billowy got crushed by a very powerful tunneling roach build from TLO. Alright, so we're seeing double expand here from Pig. He's going to take 1 to the left and 1 to the right. So again, a nice thing for Zerg there, that they can do that. And both of those bases are actually equidistant from each other. So unusually, you are able to have hopefully a good response time to both. However, the disadvantage of that is to spread creep to the base, it actually takes a bit more effort than usual. Usually the natural is kind of just down the ramp, so it'll be like kind of around here, but this is a bit further away. So it takes a little bit more effort, and the base actually has quite a lot of space in it. So that's something to consider there. Okay, Asraa is on the way. He, of course, already knows where his opponent is. He has successfully scouted it. Astraa's kind of hanging out here, outside of the vision of this hatchery. You may want to move slightly behind there. One of the nice things about this map is that there are so many places to hide pylons, and it actually reminds me a little bit of Tal'Dorei Malta in that respect. You can hide a pylon pretty much anywhere, and that makes a 4-gate play or any kind of like 4 to 6-gate blink pressure very, very powerful, just like straight up warpins and zealot run-bys are pretty good too. So you can make it work, but the question is, can you protect against the kind of attacks that a Zerg will throw at you early game? Twilight Council coming in, and there's already a Stalker on the map. Going up to 8 lings here for Pig, so he wants to start harassing. You do know which direction that your opponent is coming on if he's attacking you natural. You do not know what direction he's coming in if he goes for your main. So he could come through here, or he could actually go all the way around the side of the map here, which is a bit difficult. So we're going to see Asraa go for a wall off here. Should work. I'd like to see Zergs go for some more rushes on this map, honestly, because I think that Protoss are very vulnerable to that kind of thing. Now, we're going to see Blink here from Asraa, or we're actually going to see a DT build. It's currently mining 3 and 3, which is not necessarily indicative of anything. But, let's see. He's got enough gas for Blink right now. And it's a Dark Shrine. Alright. Okay, then. Well, Ling's making their way around, and they catch themselves a probe, unexpectedly. The Mothership Core is going to end up pushing this away. Some shield damage is going to be done. Good control here by Pig. Very good, actually. I don't think he's going to lose a Ling if his control is this good, and it continues to be great. And now he's going for some probes here. Doesn't have speed yet, and that is causing him a couple of problems. One Ling goes down. He cuts off his Lings to try and deal a little bit more damage, but so far, Stray has done a good job of hiding this. Speaking of hiding, where's his pylon? It's nowhere, actually. And the Lings saw the Dark Shrine. I don't know if it was clicked on, but he saw the Dark Shrine. And there's no pylon on the map, so I'm not too keen on this build here from Asraa. I'm not 100% sure what he's intending to accomplish with it. Now that it's been scouted, now that there is no pylon on the map anywhere, there's no probe out. So far, workers killed 3 by Pig for 8 Lings, absolutely fine, and maintains map control. So, yes, the Dark Shrine will go up, but there's no close warp by pylons, so I don't really know what Asraa hopes to accomplish here. He may just try to transition out to Archons instead, because DTs are not going to do anything. Warps in a single DT, and of course he will go to the base, and he will find static D everywhere. A lot of static defense, actually. Pig is maybe overcommitting to static defense here. Maybe this is Astraa's little plan here. He's going to go in with a DT, he's going to try and make Pig overcommit, and then he is going to go for some kind of pressure. But there's 2 more gas being added on here, so I don't think so. Blink's now being added on. And I just don't think the investment is worth it. I may be wrong there, though. Consider that. I may very well be wrong. Is the investment in a single Dark Templar worth it? Well, the second DT did come in and actually managed to sneak its way into the main base. And there is actually no Spinecrawler here, so it did get itself 4 kills. And it might even get another one. So that wasn't too shabby either. And now we have a DT that snuck its way around to the 3rd. And I'd like to see that DT actually take the Queen out, because there is no Spinecrawler here. Lings are coming up for a cleanup, though, so maybe not. Now the gateways are being added on. Asraa looks like he is fairly content to stay on 2 bases and try and go up to Blink and see what he can do with that. These DTs have now been pretty annoying, and he's managed to kill 10 workers, so I was completely mistaken. They were not shut down anywhere near as much as I thought they would be, and I think it's just because the double spines were here, and there was no spine anywhere else, and as a result, Asraa has managed to find some holes in the defensive Pig, and is now taking advantage of that. I'm kind of surprised the Pig's even letting him, but he doesn't really have too much of a choice right now. There's no Overseer out. The lair was really delayed here for Pig. Oh, there's this... No, I was going to say there's the surround, but it doesn't matter. They're out of detection range, so these Dark Templar are doing work here. Look at this, 150 resources lost to 1,000. Asraa really making it happen with these Dark Templar. And that's a big surprise. He's making Pig dedicate to even more static defense. He's losing yet more drones. Pig trying to confront them, which is absolutely not going to work. And now finally it gets the surround, but to what cost? I mean, there's a huge amount of damage that's been inflicted here. 19 workers killed by 2 DTs. What a trade. And now Astraa's just going to push. And actually, I think Pig could very well easily just lose outright. He built a round of drones. That's not the right thing to do. Not at all. We're seeing Stalker Sentry, which is not usually what you see. 10 roaches are on the way here, but the aggression now begins. Blink is about to be done. The Stalker count's not that high, but attacking into this choke point without the rocks down, pretty much suicide for any Zerg player. That can't happen. And here we go. Force fields now being put in place. Quite a few, though. A few too many force fields placed down, I feel. The roaches, however, now force fielded out at the back, and Asraa continuing with the aggression. Down goes one of the spine crawlers, and the Guardian Shield triggered as well. Single Queen will fall, second Queen going down as well. Roach is now coming around the side. Drones being pulled off the line. Second Warpin comes in, then I think Pig may very well lose right here. He's taking too much economic damage. But let's see if he can pull it off. He does have 20 more Lings on the way. We're going to have to see some excellent Ling play out of him if he wants to try and hold on to this. Blink Stalker aggression continues. No more workers coming out from the Protoss player. He wants blood. He is right at the throat, and he is working on that hatchery, which now falls down to half health. Queen count is now down to 2. More Lings coming in, and Pig is trying to bide his time here. Looking for the flank. There's too many Stalkers. There's 19 Stalkers versus 25 Lings, 8 Roaches. Asraa would have to... I don't know what he'd have to do to lose that. He's going to take a bit of damage there. Takes down one of the bases. It does, of course, leave another base there, but how can you engage here? How can you? You can't. And the Time Walk comes down at just the right time, and Asraa is looking like he's going to absolutely crush this army here. Nice DTs, lovely DTs, not very well handled there by Pig, and Asraa is able to follow up after dealing crippling damage. And there's the GG, and Root tie it up 2-2. Very, very nice play by Asraa. I just don't think Pig was expecting that much damage to come in. He thought he was secure. Hey, I've got spines, I've got spores, I'm looking good against these DTs. I scouted them, I picked off 3 drones. Ideal. What could be any better? Well, unfortunately, Astraa's control on the DTs was excellent, and he found some holes there. And the delay on the lair tech meant no Overseer. So he wasn't able to engage. And with that much economic damage done, Pig falls and is unable to fight in that choke against those sentries and stalkers. Alright, folks. Well, we have a clan war on our hands, don't we? It's currently 2 games to 2 as we head on into our next map. I'm going to have to switch servers for this one. It's going to be a new Polaris Rhapsody, and it's going to be a Zerg vs. Zerg on that map. That's a great track, isn't it? Zircon with the Expanse. Absolutely fantastic. It's from his album by the name of Identity Sequence. We are right back here on SHOUTCraft Clan Wars on MLG TV. Thank you once again to MLG for sponsoring this. $60,000 in prize money to be given out over the next 12 months to these fantastic teams. And our next map is going to be on New Polaris Rhapsody. It's going to be a Zerg vs. Zerg. Now, prior to this version of the map, playing Zerg would have been a little bit insane because lava actually killed creep tumors. That doesn't happen anymore, so it is possible to play Zerg on this map, more so than it certainly was previously. And our players are ready to rock and roll, so let's get right in. It's currently 2 for 2 on the scoreline, folks. We may very well go to the ace once again, and that also guarantees us a 2v2 as well, which will be rounding us off. And we'll see whether or not we end up going to the ace as a direct result of that. Alright, so, Cats and NXZ? I mean, we could call him NXZ. I'm not sure. INXS? That's a boy band, isn't it? No, INXS isn't a boy band. I think I've just pissed off every soft alt-rock fan in the universe by saying that INXS is a boy band. Wow! God. You see, this is why you don't ask me about any music that isn't metal. I lack the necessary skill to assess and appraise. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the northwest position of New Polaris Rhapsody. Rhapsody, what? It is quite the corner. And it is a corner that can be occupied by no one other than Cats. He is playing for Team Root versus his opponent to the northeast position. In the red trunks, also playing Zerg, the famous alt-rock band INXS. Or possibly not. XL5's NXZ. Or Z if you're in America and require a translation, but we're calling them Z for the time being. That's how it's going to be. Okay, so New Polaris Rhapsody. Interesting features include the fact that if you are in the middle of the map, every 5 minutes you die in lava, which raises and covers everything but the highest points of the map. That's one of the more interesting features, but interestingly enough, I think one of the more relevant features on this map this time around could actually be the way that the base is shaped. I have this sneaking suspicion that Nidus could be involved, but I'm not 100% sure. That's a pretty early gas here from Cats. Alright. Let's see where that goes. And it's not... Oh, that is a really early gas. I mean, he could just want super fast speed, but... There's his pool. This is 12 pool... yeah, that's 12 gas, 12 pool, isn't it? Alright. Well, that means super early speed, I think. Unless it's something else that he has in mind here. But that should be lined up for speed kicking in right away. Now... The way that the actual base is set out is pretty interesting. There's a lot of space available here. Yeah, huge amount. More so than usual. And the natural's actually here, as opposed to kind of being here where you'd expect it to be. And there's this area. This area right here. Very vulnerable to things like Nidus play. Or drop play, in fact. You can even do something crazy as a Terran. You could actually drop siege tanks behind this and siege up the natural from behind this line. It's good for blink as well. You can blink over here. There's all sorts of really interesting options as a result of the rather unique base geometry going on right here. So, as I predicted, it is for the earliest speed possible, basically. I don't think you can get any earlier than that practically. So we're going to see speed kind of kicking on at the 3-minute mark and kicking in around the 5-minute mark. A lot of lings coming out early for Cats here as well. In the meantime, we saw the hatchery followed by the spawning pool. So, NXZ is not really set up for this. He will be able to get his speed quite soon. But he is going to be way behind. I mean, there's going to be a full minute gap at least between this. Once NXZ finishes that, he will be able to go into speed momentarily. If he spends gas on anything else, which really he shouldn't, then he'll be even further behind. But yeah, that's a full minute more of speed and a Baneling nest. Cass wants to end this early. It looks like a really big one-base play here from Cats. And it seems like the right way to go, because NXZ is not set up to deal with that. Not at all. Speed has only just started. And once Cats' speed kicks in, which is going to be in about 20 seconds, if NXZ's lings are caught out, which they could be, off creep, they will die. I mean, they might even die on creep as well, but uh-oh. This is going to be a bit of a surprise, I think, for NXZ. I don't know. Looking at the ling count, you might be thinking, oh, this is a speed build. It's got to be. All right, here it is. However, I'm a bit worried about these lings. Are they going to get across the map in time? Or are they going to get killed by the lava? Oh. No, Cats! No! No! Cats! What are you doing? Cats! Oh no, the salt is real! Cats! Cats had a great shot! He just threw it away! Suicided his legs into the lava! Oh no! Oh, Cats! Where the hell does he go from here? I don't believe it! Oh, well, you know, I did say, I think it was QXE that said at one point, I hope to see units die in the lava. Well, you just did. And I am not convinced about Katz's ability to fight this. No way. He's going up to lair right now. I'm not really sure what his plan is. Oh! NXZ, what are you doing? Katz is back in the game. What? When you play the game of throws, you win or you die. There is no middle ground, folks. Holy crap, Katz just destroys NXZ's front. I can't believe NXZ ate that. Well, that actually puts Katz kind of back in the game. He has a drone lead. He doesn't have a second hatchery, but... What the... Katz, what are you doing? One base infester? This series has been hilarious. I can't believe it. Holy crap. Okay, so we're seeing... I mean, you can't go swarm host on this map. Well, you could. It's a really awkward map to do it. Will he go swarm host, or is this actually one base infester? Oh, well, I suppose we're about to find out. If Pathogen Glands follows this up, then this is one base infester. If it doesn't, it's gotta be swarm host, surely. Or one base hive. Which doesn't make any sense, and I can't see why you would ever go one base... It's one base infester. Ling Baneling infester on one base. I never thought I'd see the day. Well, that's an unexpected thing to have happen, isn't it? Burrow coming in as well. Cat's gonna go with the one base, four base, perhaps four infester hit squad. Wow. This game. Huh. I think we can all be very glad, folks. A lot of us say kind of count our blessings. Count your blessings. And as well you should. Oh, Cats with the sick Baneling flank. NXZ's aggression immediately, an end has been put to it. The Baneling wall-off. If you can believe it. Just think about this. You know, be happy you live in a developed country. Be happy that you live to see this day, because many did not. Be happy that you're here now to watch this game. Because, again, many are not seeing it, and they are missing out on absolute nonsense. One base Burrowed Infester into expand at the 10-minute mark. NXZ. Oh, Cats! What are you... He's gonna lose... Please don't... No, he can't lose more Zerglings. Cats! He doesn't know where to go! I think he's okay, right? Is he? No? No? Yes? Maybe? This is okay, right? Yeah, it is. Okay. Huh. I was worried Cats was going to lose more units. That would have been an absolute disaster. Oh, jeez. Alright, he's fine. He's okay. I can't believe he's turned this into a game after that. Like, he had no right to turn this into a game. But he has. After NXZ, he just seems to be attracted to those... to the Banelings of Cats. I don't see anything else. I mean, there must be some pheromone stuff going on. Learn how to get them units. And I wonder if NXZ actually noticed that. He has no... He's got no detection. Is he still on hatch tech? He's on hatch tech! He's got no detection! There's no spores! He didn't see it! The army's on the way out. What is Cat's gonna do here? I mean, there's a huge force on his... He has a Baneling mine set up, but I don't know if that's gonna actually be enough. He detonates and gets a good trade. Where are the infestors? Is he bringing them back? No, he's going right into the mineral line. The infestors are here. The attack is on its way. Banelings versus Roach, which is just crazy and obviously isn't going to work, but Cats, I think, is going to abandon his natural. He's going to defend his main with spines, and then he's going to try and destroy this base with infestors. There's two more on the way. Okay, there's two infestors in the base. He sacks the natural. Okay. He got good trades with the Banes for the most part, so he sacks the natural, he gets his spine wall up, and he has infestors. These infestors right here are ready to rock and roll. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Alright, Infested Terran's coming down into the mineral line. And will NXZ respond? No, apparently not. He's going to lose his entire mineral line. Here comes the engagement. Fungals right here. Fungals on the Roaches. Will there be enough, though? We need to see some more Infested Terrans. The Lings are not quite going down fast enough. He needs to bring more reinforcements in here immediately. Infested Terrans now taking out the lair. Single Spinecrawler about to fall. Another Infestor comes out. There's the Burrow. Infested Terrans hold the line with the Queen. NXZ's attack somehow stopped by Cats as he guts everything. This mineral line destroyed. NXZ now on one base effectively as well. And Cats with the Infestors. Spore Crawler's now going down. Where are the rest of them? Cats is still kind of in the base with them. He's almost killed this lair. I don't know if he can get enough. No, I don't think so. Surely he can't get enough Infested Terrans out. The current situation is Cats is trying to defend his single base. And NXZ does actually have 2 up. But Lings come in, trying to do a little bit of damage. They're going to pick up a drone or 2, by the looks of it. So a nice little run by here from Cats. Baneling detonates. Second Baneling detonates. So nice play there by NXZ. There's the defense. And so far, of course, a hatchery advantage here for NXZ. But he still has to deal with these Infestors that are nestled away. And nestled away. If this lair goes down, suddenly that could turn around. I don't think there's enough transfuse to keep it alive against a lot of Infested Terrans. Infestor count is now at 7. Spine's now moving out. He's created a creep wall here. And is building Infestors and continuing to defend and trying to re-establish this expand here. More Ling run-bys coming in. Cat's just looking to pick off a drone or 2. He doesn't get one. Yes, he does. But he sacks a couple of Lings to make it. And a second one. Alright. Nice play. Nicely done there by Cats. Currently 23 workers killed to 0. The Infestors are here. He's going to try and focus down. No, he can't. There's nowhere near enough Infested Terrans to make that work. The Lings come in to respond to that, and the 2 Infestor hit squad is staying out of sight. We need to see an Overseer come out. Oh, there it is. Okay, NXZ finally with the cleanup. There's another Infestor somewhere. Lava is coming up. Doesn't look like it's going to hit anybody. Yeah, there's an Infestor kind of nestled away in the corner here. Just right next to the lava. But Cat is looking to reestablish. He's slightly behind drone-wise, to say the least. And another army is on the way, but I mean, Roach and Ling is not enough to break Spinecrawler Infestor. That's not going to happen. Unless somehow Cats misses every fungal in the universe. No way. Absolutely not. Well, third base is being taken, and we're 16 minutes into this bizarre game. An Infestation Pit is coming out here for NXZ. We might actually see a transition into normality after this is done. The single Infestor can continue to be annoying over here. I think the Overseer is going to find it, actually. Yeah, NXZ, in fact, is scouting, trying to find the Infestor. I have to wonder if he's paying attention. Swarm Host is actually coming out from Cats. Again, a very strange map to do that on. I don't think NXZ actually spotted that. Yeah, he didn't. He sort of scouted around. No, he's realized. No, he hasn't. Never mind. He didn't spot it. He just kind of had it on autopilot. Didn't really spot it. NXZ now on them out with Lings. We've got 4 minutes before the next lava surge comes out. And now we've got some Infestors moving out as well. 8 of them, in fact, and Swarm Host being added. Traditionally, you'd think this would be a bad map for it, but it's actually not that bad. Once you get to a third base situation, this area right here can be very easily camped with Infestors and Swarm Hosts. Because it's on the high ground, it won't be affected by the lava. So, at this stage of the game, I think Swarm Host is actually a pretty good play here from Cats. He continues to have this one single Infestor nestled away in the corner that could do some pretty good damage to the mineral line, especially if NXZ's army is out. What I'd love to see here is NXZ maybe go out and attack. Obviously, this is not good for NXZ, but maybe he's out to attack, the lava comes up, preventing him from returning to the base, and then maybe Infestors come in and kill the spawning pool or try and kill the lair. I don't know, would 8 Infested Terrans be enough for that? Maybe. He could. Yeah. I don't know if it would be. Not with a queen there. But it could certainly do some damage. Or, of course, you could attempt to chain fungal some of these drones. He's going in. Alright. Infested Terran's coming out into the mineral line. He just wants to look to do a little bit of damage. He is forcing mining time gone. He's actually going to get, what, 3, 4 drones? 5 drones, maybe? Not bad. Not a bad little play here. And now Infestor's coming in from the flank as well. And this base is vulnerable. There was no detection here. Wow! Huge amount of Infested Terrans dropped on that third base. And we're going to see a lot of dead drones here. Cats is getting himself back into this game. Slowly but surely. He has a worker lead. He has a worker lead after all this. Can't believe it. Still on 2 bases, of course. But this base isn't really all that mined out because he hasn't been mining from it very much. Cats is pushing locusts across the map. Golden is timing out. Oh, I hope that doesn't happen. It would suck to lose our Korean caster here. But that might end up happening. Oh, Golden, no! German internet. The efficiency. It's not happening. I'm fundamentally and thoroughly disappointed with that. Oh, man. This is absolute madness already. I just can't wait to see where this game goes. We've got to a state where the swarm host's out. A third base has been taken, but basically ravaged. And, in fact, it's dead by the amount of infested Terrans actually just killed it while this timeout was going on. There was no response there from NXZ, so he'd lost his third. He's got inferior drone numbers. He's about the same amount of tech. I don't think... Yeah, he is about the same amount of tech. And we're going to lose Golden. I'm sorry, Golden. I don't mean to do that to you. But Golden is out. That is sad. That's really sad. Sorry to the Korean viewers there. And Cats has these defensive swarm hosts and is now going ventral sacks for some reason. Wow, third base sniped off. NXZ, not happy with that at all. Don't blame him. He lost that base before the lag, by the way, so we can't blame him. Well, we can't blame lag for that at all. Where is the infestor still in the base? It's got to be dead now, surely. There's no way that infestor's still there. No, it's being caught. Finally. It did its job, though. It was a noble infestor, but we have Nidus for NXZ. And he's looking to try and make it happen here. Cats is kind of scouting, though. He's got a Ling on patrol path. It might be enough to spot this. Ling's coming in. Lava surge is happening, so we're going to see some... a few dead locusts, and that's about it. Okay, there is a Nidus. It's coming in behind there. You know, I mentioned Nidus earlier. I am a prophet, what can I say, but can NXZ get enough units out here? Infestor's coming in. Oh, the fungal! The second fungal follow-up. They're all stuck in the middle of nowhere. They can't get out. More chain fungals coming in. Will it be enough to kill the entire army of NXZ? They're stuck in position. More fungals come out. We need to see one more. One more into the middle of it. Transfusers. There's no transfusers. More chain fungals. NXZ losing all of his roaches here. Another fungal towards the back, but, well, roaches don't die very fast to that, so we're gonna need to see some actual units coming out here from Cats, I think. And now, finally, the roaches break their way through. Drones making their way out. There is some more fungals, but really, it's Swarm Host and Infestor here. Cats is gonna have to attack with his Infestors, and he's going to have to combo that with his Locusts to make that work. And the Locusts are pretty good, don't get me wrong, they will kill roaches quite quickly, but I don't know if he has enough Swarm Hosts. He does have 8. They're going to be fighting through a choke point, which is pretty awkward. The lair is under threat. NXZ looking to take it out. Swarm Host not where it wants to be at all. In the meantime, a Ling run by coming out. Cat's just trying to go for the counterattack here, trying to do some damage. The infestation picked off. Key tech destroyed here by NXZ. The Swarm Host just kind of picking away at the Roach Force, but they're not really getting in time. Cats, what are you doing? What are you doing, Cats? Donating a Swarm Host to the cause there. Currently, 12 Swarm Hosts are going to be defending this natural base. Ling run by doesn't really do anything, and NXZ has reestablished his third base here. And NXZ is just going to get out. You know, he says, why even bother? The fungals were really, really good, but there were just so many roaches. There's like 40 of them. It didn't really matter. They just kept coming. Another Nidus coming up here for NXZ. Where is it? It's actually towards the back there. The Swarm Host died at just the wrong time. There. They're going to pick it off. So that doesn't go up. Hydroden coming out right here for NXZ as well. Cats is building his lair on his natural here, which is now his main. Little quick run by here isn't really going to do much. Maybe get a drone or two. There we go. Just one drone. The third base is now established here for Cats. NXZ is actually a base up and is defending this third. Although, is he a base up? He actually kind of isn't, strangely enough. Because NXZ has mined this base out, and this natural really wasn't taken until much, much later. So actually the base count is surprisingly even. It's just a lava advantage here. And now in we go once again. We need infestors. Where are the infestors? He only has 2. They're in an overlord. That's not going to help. But actually the roaches are getting trapped. And they're obliterated. Swarm Host's able to smack them in there with some static defense as well. Cats with the double overlord drop. NXZ pulls back a bunch of his roaches. Cats is ready. He's waiting. He is waiting to make this work. Cats has still 2 infestors left. He's rebuilding his infestation pit. He's going for it. He's going for the drop. Infestor drop harass. Coming into the back of the base. NXZ's going to have to respond pretty quickly to this. The fungal. We need to see a second fungal. Will we see it? This is like NXZ's big mining base. Oh, it's huge. It's massive. NXZ loses so much. That drop harass from Cats in the best and most comedic ZVZ I've seen in a long time. 47 workers killed by Cats. This is actually pretty bad. I mean, this natural is almost mined out here for NXZ. His main is now mined out. In the process, somehow he lost his main. He lost his lair. I don't even know how that happened. There must have been more... No, there weren't more infestors. There were only 2. How did that even die? I have no idea. It must have been like a ling drop or a roach drop. He doesn't even have roaches. I don't even understand how that happened. I'm going to have to look at the replay. I was too focused on that. How did that lair even die? I do not understand. But right now, Cats is actually in the lead. Like, straight up, he is in the lead. This base is almost mined out. We've got 2 fully saturated bases here for Cats. Cats doesn't really have the drone lead, but that doesn't really matter at this point. And Cats has really good stack defense and excellent tech. However, he's going to have to deal with Roach Hydra. Lovely surround here by Cats. Takes out 2 Hydralisks for free. But NXZ's army is now pushing out. And Cats doesn't really want to fight this. And he's going to fight it anyway. Okay, so Roach Hydra versus Defensive Swarm Host Infester. It's actually up to 7 Infestors now. The Infestor drop harass is moving in again. Looking to try and take out the 3rd. NXZ pulls back. He knows what's coming. He's ready to respond to this. Cats is maybe going to get some damage done with a fungal. Oh, NXZ! Out of position, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, is Cats actually going to drop into the middle of that? Well, that was a lovely pickup, but he lost it anyway. He did get a fungal. It didn't kill the drone, so not so great there on the Infestor drop harass here by Cats. But never mind. Cats is walling himself in with Spine Crawlers and Swarm Host, which is extremely difficult to penetrate. He's actually transitioning to Mutalisk, of all things. Huge amounts of Mutas out now. Sitting on 10, going to build another 3. There are Hydras out, but they can really only defend one place at once, and there aren't really any spores. NXZ is remorphing his lair, and is actually taking a 4th over to the corner here, which Cats has not seen as of yet. Nice place to expand. Cats himself has also taken a 4th, so I think there's going to be contention here. I think Cats should be able to actually cancel that 4th base if he spots it. He'll certainly see a drone coming back. Yep. Alright. So he's peeled off to deal with that. I think he's realized there's going to be a 4th base there. Look at all these drones. He's going to get 4 here, which is just lovely. Another Nidus attempt here. It has been spotted by Cats, but the Nidus might finish. And nothing comes out of it, so it doesn't matter. Nicely picked off there by Cats. So he spotted the 4th base, and he knows that that's there. But NXZ has a very potent army here. Let's see if Cats can do anything to it. Probably not. I have a feeling... Oh! Half of them get picked up. Cats is going to make his way into the 3rd, and he's going to do decent amounts of damage here. But he did lose 4, maybe 5 Mutalisks there. Still no Hydra speed, so this is going to be a bit of a problem here for NXZ when it comes to responding to this harassment. Oh, the drop! Cats! Gotta be so careful. Gotta be so careful. Does he really want to go in here? Oh, no way. No. Cats. No. Don't do that. Don't do it. Don't do it, Cats. Oh, he's gonna get it. He's gonna get it. Fungal. 1. Second fungal. Can he finish it? Can he get the drones? Ah! He gets the drones. 67 workers killed. Cats has a huge drone lead. NXZ isn't mining. This is his only mining base. This one just finished. NXZ's got to attack now. He's like, I am sick of this nonsense. He has got to fight. Hang on, Cats has been doing this entire thing without enduring locusts? What? That's got to be a mistake, surely. You grab that upgrade under all circumstances. Cats is going to get out now, but it's a roach push. It's going to cancel the 4th base of Cats by the looks of it. Oh, Swarm Host's in the middle of nowhere, but there's no detection here, so these locusts are going to pop out and do a little bit of damage. And the roaches are actually jumping on it. He's going to try and save it. Does he? No, he doesn't have the damage to save that, surely. No, Hatchery is going to go down, absolutely. In the meantime, NXZ looks for the 5th base, and he picks it up as well. Lava is on its way up. NXZ is trying to retreat. He is in a safe place, though, so he doesn't have to worry too much. Lava's going to go up. It will not affect that. No... Don't think anything dies from this lava. No, not by the looks of it. Yep, he's looking fine. Lava is coming up here. NXZ now kind of trying to retreat. Needs to be careful not to retreat into the lava, of course, but he should be fine. That's going to recede any moment. Alright. So, Enduring Locust is finally finished. Cats is walled in with an almost impregnable defense. I mean, that's going to be extremely hard to beat. I think you need Broodlords to beat this, honestly. I can't see another way of getting around there. Nice little catch here by Cats, but he's not going to be able to do enough damage to kill off too many roaches here. He needs to be careful not to get into range of the Hydras. There are now 23. So, the economy of Cats is looking really, really good, but he's still behind in supply significantly. 97 army supply to 128. NXZ definitely has the tech now, but he is having to fight into just this horrible choke. Horrible choke. Muto's now making their way around as well. There's 5 infestors. There's actually 2 infestors in this drop. It looks like he wants to hit the 4th base, and I think he might be able to. Honestly, it depends. There's 2 infestors defending it, so if Cats doesn't get caught out by that, it is possible that we might see some dead drones. I don't think we're going to see a dead 4th base. NXZ is actively defending it. He knows that mining base is crucial. This base is, of course, saturated, but it is about over halfway mined. This base is basically mined out at this point. We're seeing hive tech from NXZ. Doesn't have a spire yet, so... infestors. A fungal goes in. NXZ's not paying attention, and a second fungal is going to finish off the mineral line. Nice. Yet more damage done. 74 workers kill right now. The economy of NXZ not in a good place, but NXZ is starting to get to the point where he's close to being maxed out. Fungal goes in, misses it. The Mutos are looking to try and wheel around and do some damage. Spore Crawlers are now up, though, so he's going to get yet a couple more drones. Cat's harass has been ridiculous. 5 workers to 76 killed up to this point. And 40 locusts coming out here from Cats. It wouldn't surprise me if Cats attempts to reposition his locusts and attempts to perhaps move out and position just kind of around here and maybe push towards the 4th, but he's looking for more infestor drop harass. NXZ's army is moving out. It's again out of position. The static D is not done. This base could die here. Admittedly, he is trading a 4th for a 4th, but Cats is establishing this base over here as well. This base will definitely die. There's no real question about that. It's gone. It wasn't going to save it. No chance. Cats is sort of hanging around saying, alright, well, NXZ did miss the Overlord with the infestors in it. Locusts are just kind of moving out and doing nothing at this point. And this is kind of the difficulty, I suppose, of using this. Unless you fight from the high ground, at least close to your enemy's base, the Locusts don't do anything other than provide you with a defensive wall. The Hive is on the way for Cats as well. Hive is now done for NXZ. Where does he go from here? What does he try and do? He goes Spire. I think NXZ is going to go for Broodlord here. Against Swarmhost, I don't think there's that many other options. And Cat's now playing very passively. But, is going for the infestors. And NXZ actually very quick with the response there. Oh, that could have been ugly. Cats is looking for an opportunity with these infestors, but I don't think so. Maybe, no, it's going to get popped. So, there's now 3 infestors kind of trapped here. Oh, the fungal, it hit. A second fungal? NXZ, is he going to get the 3 infestors? He gets them! Lovely pick-off. NXZ. From downtown. Gets what he needs there. Picks off 3 infestors and a 4th. Cat's army, not looking so good. And NXZ again will go and fight, and he will kill this base. It's going to die. There's no question about that. These locusts are going to get obliterated. There's not really much that the locusts can do at this point. He's trying to spread creep out to allow the locusts to actually do more. Locust toasted in the lava there. And he can do that, because like I said, creep tumors are not killed by lava anymore. That has been corrected. So Cats can continue to push forward and maybe threaten this base, but I don't think the locusts are going to reach it. They'd have to get just an incredible creep highway, and the highway isn't there yet. Mutalisks coming in, doing some damage, picking off a couple of overlords. It would have been nice to see the Hydra Tech go down there. Great Aspire is on the way now for NXZ, though, and Cats is playing with fire here. He's kind of on borrowed time. He doesn't really have much of an answer to the Broodlords yet. He is getting Vipers. That will help. But he doesn't have a lot of Corruptors. His Mutalisks are probably not going to do much against that Hydra count. So we're going to see this creep highway work here for these locusts. They're not reaching the 5th base as of yet. And honestly, that still doesn't fix the problem of NXZ's 4th right in the corner here. So I'm not convinced by the Swarmhost play out of Cats right now. It's not really doing much other than making NXZ really, really cautious to attack. But frankly, I don't even think this is enough static defense. NXZ's army is huge. He wants it. He wants it. Decent fungal. Gonna need to see a few more of those, though. Another fungal on the side here. NXZ now kind of dividing his forces. Cats needs to burrow. Cats! Oh, he's burrowing right underneath. These are not lurkers. What are you doing? He's going for the fight. He thinks he's got it. I don't know if he does. NXZ has so many units here. Fungals into the corner. Huge amounts of fungal growth coming out from Cats, but he is... Where's his infestors? Doesn't quite have enough. The swarm hosts get completely overrun. The Overseer isn't here, though, so the swarm hosts are actually staying alive. Overrun they might be, but they're not dead yet. NXZ just breaks the front, though, on that 3rd base. And pressure coming in on this 4th as well. Maybe not enough, but the 3rd is definitely dead. Cats' swarm host count is down to 6. Definitely not enough here. Where are the rest of his infestors? Cats does have 6 more. They're kind of burrowed over the 4th base. I think he wants to make a stand here. I don't know how much we're going to see. We're going to have to see blinding clouds, really, out of Cats to actually make anything happen here. Cat's evacuating his drones with his overlords. His natural is okay. That is his hive, but it isn't mining right now. NXZ clearly in the economic advantage. Cat's taking a huge amount of damage. He's down 80 supply. NXZ has the army to make this happen. The harass comes in by Cats, which is great, don't get me wrong, but I just think the swarm hosts were the problem there. I don't think he could have made anything really happen with them. He didn't do enough damage with them. Yes, they were an annoying pest to deal with for the time being, and they dragged the game out, but they didn't win it. The Infestor harass was excellent, but NXZ eventually got a handle on the situation, and as a direct result, Cats is in trouble. NXZ now building more drones, getting his economy back on track. Cats very much behind here. Superior count on pretty much everything. The only thing that is really happening here for Cats is the Vipers, which may help. An attack comes in. He's going to ram his way right in here. Picks off some swarm hosts. Cat's not burrowing fast enough. NXZ is going to take the hive. NXZ now looking to attack the last mining base of Cats here. There is no base here. Absolutely not. NXZ now pulling back. We need to see NXZ kind of suicide his entire army at the lava here for Cats to really have huge amounts of chances to come back into this game. He still has his 4th, which is nice, but I don't know. NXZ is just mining from too many bases right now. I don't like it for Cats at all. Not at all. Alright, lava search is happening. It's not going to kill anything, I don't think. Not by the looks of it. We might see some dead locusts, but that'll really be about it. There's the lava coming up. Anything dead? A couple of locusts. Nothing too crazy. Cat's not attempted to re-establish his 4th base, and I don't really blame him. He is relying on this mining base up to the top here, but eventually we're going to see Broodlords, and when we do, it's going to be a bit difficult for Cats to deal with them. It's nice to have abducts, but if you don't have enough spores, if you don't have hydras, or maybe a crap ton of queens, you're not going to get anything out of that. NXZ, I think he smells blood. He's going to go for it again. 2 overseers at the front, and a lovely evacuation there by Cats, using those overlords to great effect. Evacuates out to his 4th base. Cats is able to fight into a choke, but there are so many units here. I mean, Jesus, just look at it. 33 Hydralisks. Cats is surely not going to be able to hold this. We need to see some blinding clouds coming down here from Cats if he wants to try and survive it. Good fungals from Cats. The Hydra's kind of trapped at the front here, but fungal energy seems to be gone. There's the blinding cloud. Cat's trying to lock this fight down, but what has he got to fight it? He's got a few swarm hosts, and not much else. The blinding clouds are really nice, but NXZ is looking to make his way through here. A few more fungals maybe would have crushed that army, maybe, but it's not to be. It is not to be. NXZ has broken the front. The fungals, the last desperate fungals coming down. The Vipers are just going to have to go on holiday right now. They don't want to be anywhere near this. This is a wipeout. NXZ, after 44 minutes, breaks Cats. Cats with the Mutalisk counterattack is going to die to the ion cannon here of NXZ. And that has got to be GG, surely. That must be good game. Lings making their way in. There's too much static defense. Cats has no mining bases remaining. Cats really doesn't have much. 6 swarm hosts, 2 mutalisks, and 24 drones with nowhere to mine. 3 infestors. 3 vipers. NXZ is just poised to wipe him off the map at this stage. The overlords are moving out. Cats will make his last desperate stand. I don't even know how he's going to make it. I don't think so. There's nothing for Cats really here. NXZ is so far ahead in this game. He has everything he needs to win it. He just needs to have a little bit of patience. Cats is trying to fight. He's setting up a final wall. He's going to make his last stand, a heroic Spartacus style, but NXZ is already here. The static D will not finish in time. NXZ making his way through. The fungal growth lands in the middle, but there's the GG! And Clan Who picks up a well-earned victory. That was insane. What a crazy Zerg versus Zerg. I can't believe it got to that point, considering how it started. Absolutely nuts. Alright, Clan Who is on match point. 3 games to 2 as we go into the 2v2 here. Betrus and igers stepping up to the plate for the Aussies once again. Root on their last legs. Will they be able to pull it back and take it to the ace? We'll find out after the break. And God, do we need one. The madness continues, ladies and gentlemen, right here on SHOUTCraft Clan Wars. This is what we've got coming up for you, the 2v2. Will this be the breaking point? Will Clan Who be able to close it out at this point? Or will Root be able to take it to the ace match? This entire series has been ridiculous up to this point. Let's see if this one lives up to it. I hope so. Both of these guys, I say both of these teams, but they're all on Root. Except igers and betrus have betrayed Root and gone to Clan Who. So yeah, this is going to be weird. All I can say is there's going to be a lot of Root logos on the map. But both of these teams have practiced 2v2 quite a bit. And igers and betrus did very well last time. Cats and Calibur did really well too. So I hope to see a really good 2v2 here. Calibur's playing random, as always. So he's actually going... Oh, he's going against Protoss again. I'm pretty sure he's going to be happy with that. All right, folks, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sacred Path, the 2v2 map here in SHOUTCraft Clan Wars. It's my pleasure to bring you Team Root, represented in the pink trunks by Calibur playing Protoss, and the orange trunks by Cats playing Zerg, versus their opponents. It's Clan Who are also from Team Root. In the east position, playing Terran, we have igers. And in the south position, playing Zerg, we have betrus. Or should I say, betray us? Is what Root could be saying right now after betrus buries them. But it might not happen. Okay, so a Zerg on either side. Always nice to have on this map, because on this map... Oh, Calibur's going for the wall off again. Okay, this is actually what we saw Calibur do last time around when he played Protoss on this map. He went for a forge wall off, which blocks the entire map off, actually, because along the spine, let's say the spine of the map, I guess you could call it the spine of the map, there's a big wall of rocks and minerals. Very difficult to make your way through. So this is the contention point initially. So if you wall it off, it makes it a little bit more difficult for the standard rushes to actually work on this map, meaning that you have to go for some slightly crazier builds. There is the forge coming out, and I would imagine that, actually, betrus is not scouting it. Oh, there he is. He sent a drone through. That's a sneaky little thing to do, actually, getting a drone through there first, but I have a feeling that betrus is not going to be able to get too much done with it, and is going to be pushed back here. So Calibur will look to have the wall off. There you go. And that drone is getting nothing done. There's the gateway. So Calibur is going to set these rock towers up so that he'll be able to collapse them. Both these rock towers are linked in terms of health, so one takes damage when the other one does, which is a little unusual, but what that means is if these fall down... I believe he has calculated it, so, because if I recall correctly, he did this last time, where he collapses the wall, and that actually protects all of this. It doesn't fall on the buildings. If you build here, then your buildings would be crushed, along with anything else, so you want to watch out for that. Cats with the scout, looking to see what betrus is doing, and he went for the expand. Betrus is saying, alright, fine, you're going to wall off, okay, I can get greedy then, because I might not be able to attack you, but you can't attack me either, so I can go for that. I can make that work. igers going for the wall off himself, going straight through the factory. We might see Banshee play, but there is a reactor coming out, so maybe not. Could be Hellion. I mean, you'd think this would be for Hellions, but with that wall off there, Hellions isn't going to work, so maybe Hellion drop. It's a possibility, or he might have something else up his sleeve. It could still be Banshee. He is only on one gas, but we might just see the factory build the tech lab, so that might be the case. And it might end up just being Marine Banshee. We'll see. Banshee's very good on this map for various reasons. It's got a lot of escape paths. In particular, a Banshee can kind of hover around here, dip in, get some kills, dip out. Very, very dangerous. It can also hop between two bases very easily. So, Terran have been favoring Banshees on this map a lot. Let's see. Will there be a starport? There is. He's proxying it. Sneaky bastard. Proxy starport. Okay. And Hellions are being built. So, the trolling begins. This wall-off has held everything up to this point. There's no early rushes whatsoever. So the question, I mean, is this could still be a Hellion drop, right? As weird as it sounds. This could be a medevac, and he could decide just to drop the Hellions, or it could end up being a Banshee. The Hellions are kind of out on the map, but they can't break through here. So I've got to assume this must be a Hellion drop elevation play. It's got to be. You can't do anything else. There it is. I just don't see why you'd build Hellions otherwise. And I was correct. Yeah, it's going to be a Hellion drop. And Katz's, or Calibur more specifically, isn't really prepared for it. He is building a mothership core though, so this might be able to fend it off. It might even see it if he scouts in the right direction. Cat's moving into position there as well. The mothership core, I think, is a very underutilized unit on this map. We haven't seen a lot of it. Calibur's going to build himself a pylon kind of out in the middle of nowhere there. You might decide to take the space, and he spots this. Oh, he spots the drop. Calibur, on point. However, the drop is going to land before that mothership gets back, so there is a risk here if igers is able to make this work, and I think he can, because all of those probes actually ran to the natural, which is the exact opposite of where they want to be, because you can't protect them there. The mothership core will not make it in time. So I think that igers might be able to get a bounty here, but Calibur is running away with all of his probes, getting them all the way across the side of the map. In the meantime, Betrus is ramming his way past here, so he is going to bypass this wall off in the center. Can igers find the probes? So far, he hasn't been able to do it. He's looking for them. Igers is looking for them. He's going to find it. Is he going to find him? He's found the probes. Oh no, Calibur! Calibur! The surround! Calibur with the surround isn't able to kill the probes at all. That was a terrible plan. To be fair, he didn't really have much of a choice. Oh, Calibur, no! So many workers killed. The most effective Hellion drop in history. Another follow-up and a Widow Mine in there as well. Could end up catching the mothership core. Ends up hitting a probe, but never mind. And igers is cleaning up. The economy of Calibur is in tatters. And now, his mighty wall-off will also be bypassed. Calibur's in a lot of trouble. What has Cats been doing? Cats took a third. All I can say is I hope Cats' economy is really, really good. And it kind of is. At 44 drones, he has like more workers than everybody else put together. So his economy is very good, but the attack is coming. And the walls have been broken down. And the Lings are immediately on their way up, and Cats has no defense. Cats has got too greedy. He has nothing. There's 670 Zerglings on the map. This is going to be it. GG. Calibur is out. Cats is out. GG. Clan Who takes it 4-2. The strategy circumvented there, and the most effective Hellion drop in history compels the tap out there from Root. And the victory for the Australians. Clan Who takes it 4-2 in this series. And what a great series it was. Root not able to keep up. Again, I like the Hellion. I like that wall off. I really do, but igers had a different plan in mind. Say, oh, you got a wall off? Okay, I'm going to circumvent it entirely then. Hellion drop. Proxy Hellion drop, no less. And it was unexpected there from both Cats and Calibur. They scouted, where's the starport? It's not there. It's proxied, and good luck scouting it, because you just walled yourself off. Can't have it happen. What a series, ladies and gentlemen. What a game from both of these guys. Clan Who takes it 4-2. That was really cool. I enjoyed that a lot. So congratulations to Clan Who. They put one on the board in a big way. In a big way there. Really cool. Okay, so let's have a look and see what we've got in the rest of the schedule, shall we? This is what's coming up for you. Tomorrow, a classic, MVP versus Mouse Sports. That's going to be at a Euro-friendly time. That's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern time. There you go. It's not too bad, is it? You can stay up for that. Absolutely. That's also going to be at, let's see, let's do the maths in my head. So that'll be at 5 p.m. in the British Isles, 6 p.m. Central European time. I don't believe they're going over to Daylight Savings Time as of yet. After that, on the 24th, yet another Clan War, Evil Geniuses versus Startail. That in itself could be absolutely awesome. That's going to be at 1900, 7 p.m. EDT. Which is, I think, still... that would be, what? 11? Yeah, that is 11 in the British Isles and midnight over in Europe. And then we're going to have another late one on the 27th, Team Liquid versus Incredible Miracle. And that's going to round up March's Clan Wars. That's 10 Clan Wars for the month of March, and we're planning plenty of them for April as well. Going to be 10 a month, folks. I hope you enjoyed this broadcast. I had a blast. That was really cool. I enjoyed that very much. Awesome Clan War between these two. Congratulations to Clan who walk away with the lion's share of the $500 prize for this one event. They're a force to be reckoned with. They're a really, really good team. So I hope to see more of Clan Who. Perhaps we need to give them a greater challenge. I think perhaps tossing them one of the Koreans might be a good idea. Give them a Korean team in April. See how they fare against that. Well, folks. You have been watching SHOUTCraft Clan Wars. I'm going to start a rerun immediately after the end of this broadcast, so if you missed any of it, you'll be able to watch it there, and if you missed anything, You can also catch it on YouTube tomorrow, youtube.com/TotalBiscuit. It usually takes about 24 hours to get those VODs up. And do remember to catch all of the other Clan Wars. They are also available over on youtube.com/TotalBiscuit. All of them there with spoiler-free VODs available for your perusal. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is TotalBiscuit. Thank you very much for watching. This has been absolutely fantastic. And I'll see you next time.